Hi, this will be a video about media queries and responsive web design. So, let's imagine you've created a website and it might have a layout something like this. You've got some boxes on the screen that contain various content, and you've got a header or something that takes up the 100% of the width at the top, and then there's maybe 3 columns that are 33% or 4 columns wide, and then you might have another 100% wide footer or other section, right? And what's happening here is we want to move this over to a mobile device. So this works great on the desktop, but how is it going to work on mobile, right? So if we took this and scaled it down, let's imagine we select all these things, and I'll just group them together and create a copy. I'll drag them over here, right? And, imagine, we've got this, but now you've got to scale it down. Oh, wait, let's scale it like this, right? And all of a sudden, when we get to about the size of our mobile screen, like these boxes here are maybe a little too narrow to hold the content that you've put in them, right? So we need a different layout, okay? So let's imagine, this was our desktop version. What we might want to do on mobile is something more like this, right? Where we took, instead of having the boxes squished down to just a small amount, we had them take up the full width of the page, but then stack them vertically, okay? So this is the general thing that you're going to end up doing with responsive web design, okay? You're going to take the layout that you currently have, and then you're going to think of the things that you need to do to make it work on mobile. Another strategy might have been that you started on mobile, so maybe you started here, and then you work the other direction, okay? So imagine you have this, and then now you need to lay it out on, on a wide screen for desktop, and you might end up with this, okay? So you could start from either side. Maybe here we started what they'd call desktop first. And over here, we maybe started, with a mobile first approach, okay? So that's the general idea. Now, how are you going to accomplish this? Well, in CSS terms, we can use what's called a media query. And a media query is a little block of CSS code that is targeted at a specific situation in CSS. So if the browser is in a particular state, then we can apply a rule. Usually this works with the width of the screen. So when the width of the screen is wide, wider than a certain amount, then we can apply rules that create this layout. And maybe when the screen is less than a certain width, then, or has a maximum width of this dimension here, then we can apply this layout, okay? So I'll talk about that in the next video, right? So this is just the kind of an introduction to media queries, and then we'll actually maybe apply this with CSS in a moment.